Alright guys, so I want to react to yesterday's game's press conference. Again, as always, I will have the questions on the screen and also the answers of the coach and Joe Burrow. I will also, of course, have enhanced audio for all the reporters' questions, all that kind of good stuff. As always, whenever I try to do, these reaction videos, I want to add as much as to the content as possible, where it's not like I'm just like watching a video and uploading that. I want to actually add as much as possible. So I will be stopping throughout this video, both press conferences, giving my input, giving my thoughts and opinions. As always, if you're new, I just want to give you a whole rundown. But let's go ahead and get right into this. So let's go, boys.
Well, the starting point was 2 3-and-outs by our defense to start the game, and the offense scoring 10 points. So right there, the defense got the stops, the offense piled on some points, and we had some good special teams plays in the mix of that. A great return by Trenton, great blocking on that. And then you look at the end of the half, okay, the defense gives up a touchdown, offense drives all the way down to the 1. Doesn't get in, but again, eats up some clock, gets some good field position, and then the defense does a great job turning in 7 points. And then you turn over quickly the second half, offense gets the ball first, score 7. So I just thought that sequencing at the end of the second quarter, beginning of third, even though it wasn't perfect, was a good example of this team playing together and feeding off of each other and being able to take control of the game there.
I think, honestly, again, he's leaving out the fact we did allow 14 points in the second quarter and really didn't do anything in the, second quarter. Offensively, we actually did nothing. Like, we did not score one single point, and we literally just let them come back. Now, again, Cam Taylor-Britt had the pick 6. That worked out in the end. But if he doesn't have that pick 6, that second quarter ends in a very, very nasty way, right? And then you have Logan Wilson, who drops a pick when we were literally been in field goal range. That second quarter, just wipe it out of the history books. Because the first quarter we did great. The third quarter we did great. The fourth quarter we did great. The first quarter, just wipe out the second quarter and just not talk about it. Other than the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, that's all I care about. Everything else, I don't want to talk about.
I'll get you next, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Say the 4th and 1 when you start them. Let's say to kind of shift the game for good.
That's a huge. I think it was a 4-point game at that time, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been an 11-point game, but it was that was a huge stop. Defense rose to the challenge there. I think Jermaine was the one who kind of had big contact there. So that was a critical point in the game for us for sure. That's a turnover,
Appreciate you, Zach. When you've been grinding for 4 weeks with the offense, trying to see it look like what it can, just how rewarding is a day like this for not only you as a play caller, but just across the board with this offense?
I think we just don't overreact to the early part of the season. We correct what we can correct. There was never any wholesale changes needed. We knew how close we were, and we knew what it could look like. We got to continue to build off days like today. That's a big part of it. But again, there was never any overreaction or anything like that from us. We just stayed the course. And when you trust in what you're doing or you believe in your process, there's plenty of time for it all to take shape and us to get our footing that we needed to get. And I thought today was a good step in the direction that way.
That's interesting. So what he's doing right there, he's reiterating what Brian Callahan said. Brian Callahan said it's a failure of execution. We're not going to try out a whole trial or put out the whole new offense and try to change what we're doing. Offense is fine. It's an execution problem. It's not an offensive problem. And that's pretty much what Zach Taylor just reiterated in different words. So, again, like he said, we're not going to overreact and change up everything because of how we started. We're going to keep going at it and making sure, we perfect what we have and what we are. So, kind of reiterating what Brian Callahan said. I like that. I'll be honest, I think that's a sign of a really good leader, is when, you kind of have your coach's back, right? And I will admit that, I was definitely upset with what Brian Callahan said there. But at the end of the day, it worked out this week, didn't it? It worked out versus the Cardinals. So, maybe this offense can get going. But again, honestly, it's surprisingly enough, I say that, but I also say that this game this week, I feel like we called so many better plays than we did in previous weeks. I don't know why. I feel like we called a lot more creative plays this week than any other week of the season so far. And again, we did call flea flicker. We called more screen passes, more slant passes, and we ran the ball more. So, 0 under center snaps, though, which still kind of surprised me. But it is what it is.
From the on down this week, everyone seemed the same as a must win.
Was that your message to the team?
No, those aren't my words. You know, it was, again, we just needed to play our best brand of football against this game against Arizona. That's it. You know, and then next week stack another one, you know, against Seattle, and just keep taking it one game at a time. Don't worry about the big picture right now. I think we're going to be in great shape if we can just take care of our own business at this early part in the season, and that's what our guys did today.
What kind of impact does it have on the team? You've seen Burrow play after how he worked in the first 4 games before he can come out and play like he has in so many games earlier in his career.
Well, I mean, he's done really good things for us these last couple of weeks. And so, again, we look at every play as it should be and feel like he's done a great job for us. Today, again, we just got more plays and we were able to take some more shots down the field, called some different protections that allowed us to take more shots as he's starting to move a little bit more. And so, again, and then he made a couple plays where he just extended plays. And so that's always a bonus that we'll gladly take. Don't want to force that on anybody, though.
It honestly felt like at one point that Joe just wanted to run the ball every single play. It honestly kind of felt like that. At one point, it felt like, you know, Joe Burrow was just like, you know what? All this talk about I can't move, all this talk about I can't run around, all this talk about my calf strain, you know what? I'm just going to run. I'm just going to run. And it was almost like, you know, like an FU game for Joe Burrow to all the haters. Like, you know what? You think I can't run? Think I can't move? Guess what? Here you go. I'm going to run. I'm going to move.
Yeah, you made Kwame a captain.
Yeah.
You know, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, Kwame has been everything that we wanted to be around. Done a great job on our practice squad. He's done a great job when his number was called last year. Came in against Tennessee, you know, when we elevated him, and so he's a guy that's very dependable. We got a lot of trust in him. You know, his dad was a tremendous player here, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s. And so, again, just I think that's a really special moment for a guy that is exactly what we want to be about. Able to maybe have a moment for himself and his family, you know, to honor his late dad. And you know, somebody Darren knew. Darren played with at KU, and his dad went to my junior college, Butler County, so there's that fraternity. And so, again, just special for Kwame. It was a bonus that he got a catch, you know, on a run alert. But, again, hopefully it was a good moment for Kwame's family.
Can't make that stuff up. You can't make that stuff up.
No, but again, when the right people are doing the right things, you want to find a way to draw attention to that. And Kwame is a great example of just. I met his mom in the elevator, I think, during the preseason, and just what a great woman. It's no surprise Kwame's been raised the way that he has, and so again, anytime you can give a player that kind of moment, you want to be able to do that.
I kind of felt like going into that game, and I wasn't 100% on this. I felt like I knew they were going to play Kwame because, you know, he was such a high, crazy player in the preseason. Well, I mean, high, crazy player. I mean, like, really popular player. A lot of people liked him. And I thought because of that, they were going to make sure he got a catch in that game. I don't know why. I had a feeling they were going to make sure he had a catch in that game. And he had a catch in that game, which is awesome, you know? But it's like, I kind of felt like it was 1,000% going to happen based on the fact that once I saw him, that he was elevated to the active roster and D was out, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely going to be Kwame's going to have one catch. Maybe only one, but he's definitely going to have at least one catch in this game. All right, so now we're going to react to Joe Burrow and his press conference and what he had to say. Overall, my takeaway from Zach Taylor is, you know, I think he kind of just summarized everything the best way he could. We got the win, you know, and we did everything we could to get the win. That's how Joe Burrow explained it, you know, before, was we just got to get the win. No matter how, what way you do it, no matter how you do it, you just got to get the win. And that's what we did. So, shout out to that for that. But let's go ahead and now listen to Mr. Joe Burrow. Joe Burr.
Hello.
Let's go.
It's going good.
How'd that feel out there?
Yeah, it was good. We still got a lot of room to improve. We left some yards and points out there, but it's a good start.
How, given how the first 4 weeks of life, did this maybe mean this game what you did in extra team?
Yeah. Anytime you get a win, it means a lot. In this league, it's hard to win. So we're going to enjoy this one. Come back tomorrow, focus on being 1-0 next week.
Can you give us your breakdown on the 63-yard touchdown pass to Lamar?
Yeah, Zach called a great play. You know, saw something at halftime that we really liked, and so that's credit to him.
He said, though, that he was telling you not to throw it.
I don't know. It was open, so I threw it.
The first red zone, you're able to kind of move out of the way
Yeah.
of the guy and throw. How big was that for your confidence today? That okay, I can do that today.
Yeah, that was big for that exact reason, like you said. It's something I haven't been able to do for the last couple of weeks. So when your quarterback can't do that, can't steal first downs, can't extend the play a little bit to find some guys, it's tough to move the ball. So it felt good today. I'm going to continue to get healthier, so I'm excited about that.
My question is, did you do it on purpose, though? I don't know. Again, like I said, I know he's not going to answer that, and they're not going to ask him that, but I really wish someone would ask him that. Like, did you do it on purpose just to prove a point? Or was it like, you just felt like that was the best play necessary? I don't know. All I know is one thing is, man, I love Joe Burrow press conferences. These are, honestly, he's my favorite person to watch. Jamar Chase is my favorite because Jamar Chase keeps it real and he's hilarious. But also Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow is just so nonchalant. Professionalism is just, I love it. I freaking love it, man.
In a weird way, the one big sack you took was that kind of the same thing because you were able to avoid a couple of guys before you took the big hit. Was that another thing where the confidence grew after that, even though it wasn't what you would desire?
Yeah, there were several plays at the beginning of the game that I was kind of testing it out, and it felt really good, and that kind of led to some of the runs in the second half.
I was asked about that moment. You scrambled for the one, you dropped the ball with confidence. I mean, that's sort of a pretty confident moment for you. Did that feel like a big deal to you, that particular play? Is that why you reacted like that?
It did.
Was there any one play when you said, okay, I can do these things now, or was it?
It was the first touchdown. I was able to slide right, plant my leg, throw back across my body. After that, I felt like I was pretty good. Obviously, there's been a lot of moments that I thought I was good, and it turned out not. So I just got to continue to keep getting healthier, keep working on it, keep working on my body. It'll be good.
Was that just a mental thing, just for you to be able to play as well as you do today, just have that mental confidence that it's going to be okay if I do the things I'm going to do? How much of that was getting that, and then once you felt good on that?
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of different things. I played okay. Jamar played great, as he always does. O-line played really well. It was a combination of all the things.
I know you've been asked this a million times to go back here about Jamar, your buddy Jamar. But what can you say about him today, the record-setting game that he had, and just kind of what he means to get this thing back in the right direction?
Yeah, he's obviously one of the best in the league. So, going to continue to feed him. We're going to find ways to move him around so teams can't take him away. We're going to continue to get better at that. And he's going to continue to do what he does.
Because, why? Because he's always effing open. That's why. Because he's always effing open. He's always effing open. It don't matter how many times you put guys on him, how much you cover him. Jamar Chase is always effing open.
On the deep ball, how much does that mean just to see that happen again? Because he's obviously said he wants to see it happen more often and finally break through on that. What does that mean?
Yeah, we were able to connect on that one, and then we got to continue to connect on those. One means nothing if we go 0 for 12 in the next one. So we're just going to continue to get better.
Joe, Kyler Murray said that he's coming back from ACL surgery. He said he talked to you, I think, in Miami a while ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that conversation was like?
Yeah, we just talked about the process. I've been through it, so I gave him some insight. He's a great guy. I was happy to talk with him. He's going to come back better than ever.
As you get closer, is there pressure to kind of get back, just to get on the field to help your teammates?
Yeah, when as professional football players, it's whenever you're not out there with your guys, it's always really tough. But at the same time, you got to think about your body, and you got to think about your career, and you got to think about what's best for the organization. So if you're not ready, you can't come back. It's always tough. I've been there, but it is what it is. It's part of this profession.
Joe, what? Hold up, what? Did he just say sometimes, if you're injured and it's not best for the team organization, then you don't come back? But Joe, that was the first 4 weeks of the season, Joe. You just did the absolute opposite of what you just said you understand why T did. You just did the polar opposite of what you claimed that is good that T did. And sometimes you have to do that. Bro, you did the polar opposite. What do you mean you understand? I don't think you understand, Joe. Everyone in this country was saying, Joe, take a seat. Just sit out for 4 weeks. Joe was like, nah, bro, I'm playing. I'm completely playing. And then comes here and says, well, I get it. I get why, T is sitting. Sometimes you got to do what's best for the team and organization. What's best for us, honestly, when we were 0-, well, not the Rams game, but the first 2 games, if we would have played with Jake Browning, maybe, I don't think we would have won those games, but still, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll shut up. Let's listen to the rest.
How big of a deal, Joe, is it today to play complementary football where obviously the offense played very well, but early on the defense played well, then later they generated a couple of turnovers, something you guys have been needing the first 4 weeks. How big of a deal is that?
Yeah, doesn't matter how well you play on offense. If your defense doesn't play well, you're not going to win. So when you have a defense like that, it makes our jobs easier. We got to continue to play complementary football, like you said.
Considering you're improving health, Joe, considering you're improving health and you're improving team one of X against the wall kind of game, can this be a turning point?
Yeah, this kind of feels like last year in New Orleans a little bit. So it means nothing, like I said earlier, it means nothing if we don't go out there and build on it and continue to get better. So we're going to celebrate it tonight and come back to work tomorrow.
Did it feel like that kind of game, like New Orleans last year, like going into it? Did you have that same feeling?
I knew we had to win it. We had to win in New Orleans last year too, so similar feeling.
How close to 100% are you?
Well, it felt really good today. I'm going to continue to test it out in practice. Going to see where I'm at on Tuesday. Usually day after game, 2 days after the game is a little sore. So we'll see how it feels the next couple of days. We're going to continue to get healthier.
Where do you put this game?
I will say for the most part, yesterday we did protect Joe very, very well, which was probably the biggest and greatest takeaway from yesterday's game. He did get sacked, let's be honest, but we protect him for the most part throughout that game, which is actually a really, really big W. It's like one of the most underrated W's I would say that happened in that game, was just the fact of how well we protected Joe.
Game on the, you get the Jamab barometer. You guys play the other scoring. Where do you put this on the Jamab barometer as far as what do you see?
He was great today. He was great. We, like I said earlier, though, we left points out there all around. We have so much room to improve still.
What does Trent Irwin mean to this offense?
Man, he was great. He was great today. He's, we have so much depth at all positions across the team that I feel really good about. And so when you have a guy like Trenton and Andre come in, when a guy like T goes down and come in and play the way that they did, it makes your job as a quarterback way easier because whatever the defense shows, you're going to be able to spread the ball around and get it to the guy that you think is open.
You feel you guys showed some resilience here today?
Yeah, it wasn't. By no means was it perfect. It was hard. That's a good defense. They were moving the ball well on offense at times, and so we had points in that game where we had to come up big, and we did.
Walk us through that third touchdown. That felt a lot like, I guess we had a similar one, maybe in 21, when Jamar Chase was escaping streak on the backlash. So walk us through kind of the progression, how that played out.
Yeah, it was. They were doing a great job at the goal line of stopping the run, and so we called a little play action and had to buy some time. And that's the kind of play that you don't get if your quarterback is immobile and can't slide and make that extra second count, and that's what we were able to do.
Just kind of a big reaction after that one. I know it's a touchdown, a big touchdown in the game, but did it feel like more that particular moment? As excited as you were after that touchdown?
Yeah, it was something I haven't been able to do the last couple of weeks. So getting back healthier, and it's exciting. Thanks, guys.
All right, so let me get my final takeaways / digest everything that he just said. No, it was a great team win overall wise. I'm very happy and exciting how we got that team win. I will say overall wise though, it seems like he's healthier, which I really like, and he looked healthier in that game. He looked like he was at an 80 percentile in that game when it comes to his healthiness. And at the end of the day, we don't fully know. And as he said, in a couple of days, he's probably going to feel some pain and, some lingering pain from the game. So at the end of the day, we don't know how healthy he's going to be, in a couple days. But right now, in that game, he looked 80%. We don't play again till next Sunday, so we have a whole week. He's going to be practicing, but some time to rest, get healthier, get better. And, again, one game, and then we'll bye week. So he's going to have a whole bye week of just time to rest and get better and, continue to progress. And I don't think it's outrageous / crazy to say that by the 49ers game, potentially, we could potentially have him at 100% health. Which I think would be completely crazy. But at the same time, I don't think it is crazy. I think that's a realistic possibility. And obviously, we're going to need him healthy for 49ers game. Because if he's not healthy, that Niners defensive line is going to get after us, okay? They're going to get after us left, right, center, up, down, polka dot, pink bikini. I don't care. They're going to get after us. So, we need him to be mobile. Because that's the only way he's going to be able to do anything in that game is moving around the pocket and sometimes getting out of the pocket and trying to, save his own life, honestly. Because I don't know how we're going to stop Nick Bosa. Because I promise you one thing. The 49ers are going to put Bosa against Volson like every play. Volson or Jonah Williams, every play. And they're just going to absolutely abuse those two guys the whole entire game. Because our weak points right now are... Actually, I would say Jonah's really not a weak point for us. It's really Kappa and Volson, honestly. Based on the grades, it's Kappa and Volson. But I think Jonah being newer is going to be the problem. And Volson just sucked this year every single game so far. So, I have to see the grades for yesterday to kind of break that down. But overall-wise, yeah. I think they're just going to try to abuse those two guys. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. We got the W. We're 2-3. 14-3 starts here. Who they? Who they out.